So we're BOUDAGOUDA, and we've oddly never all five of us played in the same place at the same time before. So yeah, I was just saying we could introduce the band. We will literally be introducing them to each other because Ian and Phil and Aly have just met. There we go, that's the band introduced. We're going to do some, they're all originals, our songs, and I wrote a whole album that was about interesting women in history, remarkable women that you may not have heard of. And the first one is a lady called Eleanor Glanville, who was born at the end of the Cromwellian era, when it was not very acceptable for ladies to be interested in science or nature or anything really. So she did a lot of studies into butterflies and met up with John Pettiver, who's one of the world's, the first entomologists. And her research is still in the Natural History Museum, but her estranged husband did everything in his power to make sure that it was proved that she was mad, because he wanted her to be locked up. But she didn't get locked up, but when she died, he overturned her will, so he got it all for himself, because he could provide evidence that she was completely insane because she was interested in butterflies. So this song is called Chrysalis. There's the witchcraft and the patience of the learned woman who watches the world, who watches the world. There's a madness in nature, and sooner or later they will hunt you down. Your mind is too bold, your mind is too bold. Political chrysalis, we hide, we liquefy, but we don't decide we will or die. In this scientific revolution, men collect and catalog and classify, but a woman should not even chase a butterfly. Searching for something, a parcel of worms, a parcel of worms. The sea must have touched her, somebody arrest her. Only the strange ones have a longing to learn, have a longing to learn. don't decide if we grow or die. In this scientific revolution, men collect and catalog and classify, but a woman should not even chase a butterfly. Simple string brown paper, send a parcel to Fatima. Evil spirits in a package, or so it would seem, or so it would seem. See this dancing demon, how could it be a reason for spoiling the butter, or curdling the cream, or curdling the cream? Chrysalis, we hide, we liquefy, but we don't decide if we grow or die. In this scientific revolution, men collect and catalog and classify, but a woman should not even chase a butterfly. Thank you very much. Could we have quite a bit more me in the monitors, Tara? It's all about me. Well, I like to be able to hear myself a little bit.
Tiny bit more guitar in the monitor as well. Everything louder than everything else.
Yeah. Just so long as I'm the loudest. The next song is called Betty Kenny, and if you're local, you will probably already know about Betty Kenny. She raised her children in a tree in Shining Cliff Woods. She was a charcoal burner at the end of the 18th century, and she raised all her children in a tree, and she'd rock them from the tree while she worked. And the song Rockabye Baby, that's about her. So we all sing that song to our children, and not many people know who Betty Kenny is, so now you know. There's a baby cradled in the roots of this tree, who once was rocked from the boughs. A pillow will tug of its loose tiny bones as I rest in my beautiful tree house. Children were raised and rocked in this tree, and though the rain floods our backs, there is nowhere else that I'd rather be as I kiss goodnight to those sleepy heads, rockabye baby, on the treetop. Betty is working, Betty is on her bed. When the wind blows, the cradle will rock. Betty is charcoal burning. We worked and we toiled for years and years. We earned 10 pounds and retired. But a thief in the night beat us and robbed us, and soon after my poor husband died. On his funeral day I wept as I walked. My love had been well done. On my 100th day I danced and I talked at the big house with everyone. bad boys they came and they burnt my tree down. By then I was long gone, but my baby still sleeps in the woods of my home. Still sing there for my little woman. Rock-a-bye baby on the treetop. When the wind blows, the cradle will rock. When the bough breaks, the cradle will fall. Down will come baby, cradle and all. Cradle and all. Cradle and all. Thank you. This next one's called Searching Girl. I wrote it about a woman who's actually still alive, so that's pretty novel of me. Like, oh God, one that's not dead. And she's not even that old. She's a microbiologist, and she's managed to already, in her young life, find life in the most unlikely places. So obviously NASA have bagged her, and she's going to go to space, and she's going to find life on Mars, of Oz. And her name is Zena Cardman. Isn't it strange to think that there is life in outer space? Isn't it stranger to think that there is none? And all of this time, the entire human race has been unable to connect as one. The first earthling was a single-celled thing, in places of permanent dark, who is moving to find life in an unlikely world. Send in the searching girl, send in the searching girl. Send in the searching girl. The searching girl can find life beneath the sea, where the sun has never been, and the darkness is thicker than sleep. The searching girl can find life within the sand, where nature's rough, dry hands rub the tears from arid lands. Isn't it strange to think that there is life in outer space? Isn't it stranger to think that there is none? And all of this time, the entire human race has been unable to connect as one. The first earthling was a single-celled thing, in places of permanent dark, who was moving to find life in an unlikely world. Send in the searching girl, send in the searching girl. Send in the searching girl. The searching girl can find life within the caves, where the slime reaches in waves, and the tiny microbes believe. The searching girl can find life in outer space. One minute bacterial trace is the sign of an alien race. that was in a different key. The great thing about Aly and Phil is that we just do songs differently every time they play with us, and they just go, oh, okay. They're so versatile. This next one's called Paper Garden. It's actually quite a tragic song. Also an amazing song. A woman called Mary Glanville, born in the olden days of olden daisiness. I used to know the date, I can't remember. She was very, she had this like semi-rich family, not quite rich enough to send her off to do great things. So they kind of married her off when she was 17 or whatever to a really, really, really rich man. But unfortunately he was 86 years old and he lived in a castle with no windows. And she just had to sit and read books to him all night, and it was freezing cold. One day she woke up and he was completely dead. So she decided, she was a clever woman, and she decided she'd do teaching, and she went off to Ireland, and she lived with lots of people teaching their children. And eventually she met the man of her dreams, and she married when she was like in her late 40s, mid 40s. But very sadly, he did not last very long, and he just died after about 4 years of them being married. So she carried on teaching and living in other people's houses, and she needed something to do to take her mind off how sad this was. So she started creating little paper flowers, versions of the flowers that she saw. And they were so good that people who study flowers started to send her flowers to go, do one of this, do one of this. And so she then became quite famous for her botanical collage. But not only was she famous for her botanical collage, she was the first person to do collage. So she actually invented collage. So if you look up Mary Glanville, check out her artwork, it's incredible. The wind blows in from a Cornish sea. These castle walls are no comfort to me. Held by the cold of a merit so bad I see my breath for the books that I read. A prison to society. A teenage bride may call on death to set her free. Language is a carriage, crosses the sea in an Irish garden grows a piece of me. From the darkness of the border, a tendril unfurls, a door is open and the freedom returns. A prison crumbles with each flower that grows. From her haze a garden arose. A paper garden arose. No roots to put down, no place to call home. Scissors and dies, I invent imitations. I cannot preserve moments, I cannot steal time from such a dark place through this paradise of mine. A paper garden arose. Thank you very much. We're going to, Marcus is going to just do some retuning, and I'll explain our next song.